here in Nairobi, Kenya. I hope you're doing well, keeping safe, keeping warm. Yeah, so chaos qua ground. We didn't go live yesterday. Quite a busy day, and I wasn't feeling well. But here we are. We are live on TikTok. We are live on Facebook, X, YouTube, and my personal Facebook page. So karibuni sana, Chaos Kwa Ground. We have quite a bit of development regarding Benjamin Sesko, and we are going to do a quick live regarding that. In case you have any comments, queries, suggestions, opinions, make sure you post in the comment section below. My name is Simon, representing United Kwa Ground, and let's get the show started. So Benjamin Sesko has been quite of interest in the past week, with United and Newcastle battling out, the two Uniteds battling out. And news broke out that United have started talks with the agents, the player agents, as well as they don't want to make a bid or submit a bid to Leipzig without getting a green light from Sheshko. And that's what we've seen so far in the transfer window from Manchester United. They didn't want to sign Cunha until they were sure about it. And they didn't want to sign Mbumo until he gave them assurances that he will come to the club. Now, reports coming in. Let me pull up the tweet from the big person Fabrizio says that Benjamin Sesko will make his final decision soon. Newcastle informed Leipzig last week they are set to match the request. So we do know that the release clause is around 80 to 100 million euros. And Newcastle placed a bid of 75 million pounds total package. That is 65 million plus, I think, some other millions there. And United are now under pressure. Now, United don't want to make a bid, as I've mentioned, to Leipzig, sorry, until they have assurances from Sheshko that he's going to join. Am I scared that we might not match that bid? No, I'm not. I'm getting confidence from the fact that Brentford did get a bid from Tottenham regarding Bumo. We know that there are reports that Tottenham went in with 70 million pounds, and Bumo practically said no. If you accept the bid, I won't accept to go to Tottenham. It might be a similar case for Manchester United. Remember back in April that Amorim said United will only sign players that want to play for United. And before I go to how Sheshko came about of interest to United, I like to highlight that United are pretty confident based on the reports we've seen online. They are pretty confident that they are going to get Sheshko, and they are still in the race. So despite Newcastle placing in a bid, the player has not yet decided. Last night, we got reports that Sheshko has chosen Newcastle. Today morning, we got reports that not yet. The player has not yet um, chosen the club he wants to play for. There are some reports that state that Sheshko is interested with the United project, despite us not being in the Champions League or in any European competition. He's open to coming to United. Other reports state that he's open to joining Newcastle. Newcastle at the moment are willing to match any bid or any demands, both on the player side and the club side. And these are reports coming in from Onstein, Whitwell, um, as well as Fabrizio. So it's a wait and see. I wouldn't say that right now we know where Sheshko will end up. I'm not stressed with the move. Why? We have options. Remember that Ole Watkins is still on the table. As much as Aston Villa don't want to sell him, they could be persuaded because they do need to reinforce. So we could go in. They say they want 60 million and they don't want to sell the club. They might say that because they don't want to lose him, or they might say that they will not sell him, or they are not willing to sell him because they want to get more money. Remember, they are in a position where they don't have to sell Watkins. Watkins himself is open to a move to join United, but Aston Villa are not willing to sell. If we miss out on a forward, will I be sad? Yeah, a bit. But we are in a situation where if in case we miss out on a forward, we get a midfielder and a goalkeeper. Those are still positions we need. In the forward areas, we are a bit covered. I keep mentioning that uh, we need a forward that will be able to open up play for Cunha and Mbumo. Right now, with those two, and then you add Ahmad and Bruno to the mix, the goal scoring burden has been taken away from the forward. So, yes, as much as we need the forward, we shouldn't feel bad or down that we didn't get one. We still have the January window, we still have the next summer window, and United are rebuilding, and we want to rebuild with the right players. I want us to move away from panic buys, where in case we don't get a forward, then we move on to the next available forward. We know that, for example, Jamie Vardy is available in the market. Do we go for him just because he's available and we need a forward? No. Kevin Mwangi, my namesake, thanks for joining in on TikTok and making a comment or posting a comment. He says, if we get Sheshko, it will be a good signing, but I'm worried that this deal may fail. Don't feel worried, brother. Don't feel worried. Don't feel worried. I'm I, let me say this confidential. With confidence that Hoyland will be good this season. Hoyland will be good. From what we've seen so far in preseason and from the signings we've made, Hoyland will come good. Remember that Zaxi as well, he's having a different training regime and he will also come good. We also have Chido and we have players that can play in the forward position. Cunha can play there, Bumo can play there, as well as Mount can play there. So don't feel worried. Yeah, I know we need signings, but don't feel worried that we might not get Benjamin Sesko. To me, he's a player that, yes, if I was asked between him and Watkins, I've mentioned a couple of times in the past lives, I would prefer Watkins because Sesko is a player we can always get since he's young. Even if he signs for Newcastle, it might not work out, and we sign him. Look at Isak. Isak was at Newcastle. No one thought that he would leave or he would push to leave. Now he's leaving. He wants to move to Liverpool. But right now, we need to sign players that we are sure want to play for United. We need to move away from players that see United as a retirement plan or just come to get the bag of pounds, a huge salary, and then move on to other clubs or probably retire after making a big buck. So, Calvin, please don't be worried. Don't be worried at all. We have other priorities that we can move to in case we don't uh, buy Sheshko. Now, Sheshko is not a target out of the blue. United have been tracking him and have been wanting him for quite some time. In 2019, when he was just a 16 years old, United wanted him, and he was an academy player at Domzale or Domzale. Um, and United were required to pay a 2 million euro fee, but they said that's too much. They went in with a 1 million euro. They were told no. They went with a 1.1. They were told no. And Sheshko ended up going to Salzburg. So the tracking of Sheshko by Manchester United started in 2019. So this is a player we've been looking at for a very long time. We tried again in 2022. He decided to go to Leipzig. We tried again last season, and last season he was our number one target. And still Ineos were like now starting to get used to the system. They were getting their feet on the ground at United, and United wanted him. He opted to stay for his pathway and signed a new contract until 2029. When we missed out on Seshko, we decided to go for Joshua Zaxi. So this is a player that we've been scouting for some time, and is a player that has been tracked by multiple clubs across Europe. We know that Arsenal were their first choice, or he was Arsenal's first choice. And the deal became difficult because Leipzig wanted a lot of money, or they wanted to structure a deal in such a way that they get more money up front for the player, the value of the player, and then they opted for Gyökeres. So as much as we Manchester United fans receive banter that we didn't sign Victor Gyökeres, he was Arsenal's second choice. Of course, Victor Gyökeres didn't want to sign for United. He rejected us. Reasons being, he wants to play in the Champions League, and that's why Amorim came up with that quote or that response that we only want to sign players that want to play for United. So Benjamin Sesko is not a forward that has not been tracked by United. It's not that because we've missed out on Delap, we've missed out on Gyökeres, Osimhen, then we decide to go for Sesko. No, Sesko is a player that has been on United's radar for quite some time. So we know that he hasn't made his decision. Looking at X, I can't see a decision that has been made yet by the player. Newcastle have made a bid. United will make a bid. I'm just trying to check whether there's a bit of news. I'll highlight this as well. It's regarding Bumo. Manchester United don't want to make a bid and then have the player reject them. Furthermore, as much as Newcastle have made a £75 million total package bid, United could end up getting the player if the player rejects Newcastle and United are in the picture. We know that Manchester United don't have a lot of cash upfront compared to Newcastle United. Manchester United, we know that they need to make sales. People have been asking how come United are making signings that they don't have money. Well, PSR runs till June 30th, 2026, sorry. And if PSR is running till then, we don't have to make sales now. Yes, making a sale now will be good for us because we can be able to do better deals. But we do have the June transfer window, the January transfer window, and then we have that period in June where we can do away with some players. As well as the window is still 4 weeks away from the deadline. A lot of things could happen. Other than the outcasts we know that are still at the club, that is Sancho, Garnacho, and Anthony, other players could be sold. If a club comes in with a big bid for a player, then United could consider the bid. I'll give an example. If a club comes right now and says that they want Bruno for 200, let's say a Saudi club comes and says they want Bruno for 200, the club will gladly tell Bruno, hey, look, this is good money, it will help us, and we can do a big deal. Or a club comes in for Joshua Zirkzee, they say we'll sign him for 40 million. He will be sold. Or they come in for, let's say, someone like Luke Shaw or Maguire. So we have other players that could leave before the window closes. Bryant Juguna says that on TikTok says, I'm concerned about our midfield, especially not seeing Kone being given a chance. I'm also concerned. I also haven't seen Mazraoui play. There are a couple of players that haven't been playing on the preseason friendlies. Let's hope to see them in the Everton game. Kone, I sort of understand why he hasn't been given game time, because when I looked at him in the preseason training sessions, he needs to bulk up. He looks a bit skinny, let me use that word, and Premier League clubs are very physical. Remember that this is a player that last season played with the under-21s. It's quite different from the first team football. If you look at Chido, Chido was scoring 7, 6, 5 goals in the academy football. When he came into the Premier League football, he's not getting those chances. He's not bullying defenders. So Kone as a central midfielder, it's quite tricky for him. One mistake, we will bash him. Guys will come for him. The internet trolls will abuse him, and he will lose confidence. So I sort of understand why he hasn't gotten game time. Yes, it's preseason. I hope that the Fiorentina game as well, they can get chances. I'm sure that Amorim will play some players in that game that we haven't seen so far, like Mazraoui, Joshua Zirkzee, Brian Bumo, and I'll mention some news regarding him. And Kone. I do believe that Kone and Kobe Mainu are our future in midfield. They are our future in midfield. Kone is a marvelous player. If you watch academy football, you'll see that he's composed, he's press resistant, he has that vision to make the pass. He can be able to put in a tackle. He runs hard. He puts in a shift. So yeah, let's see whether he will play in the Everton game or Fiorentina game. Kevin Mange also says, I've seen Al Nassr want Bruno. Do you think it's the right time we let him go? Well, there is never a right time to let a player go. If we look at Ronaldo, he had to sit in for one more season to see whether we can retain the Champions League, and then it didn't work out. He left, and it was still a good move for both clubs. It was still a good move for United and Real Madrid. So the Saudi League, even if Bruno is like 33 years old, he will still perform. It's not the same level as the Premier League. Personally, I would sell him right now. Honestly, I would. As much as he's our creator, he's our midfield general, he's our captain, I would. Because we are going to have issues with our midfield setup. We need two number sixes that are good on the ball, that can defend, that can run the pitch. Bruno is not that tactically disciplined to be able to handle that job. We've seen that whenever he plays with, let's say, Ugarte or he plays with Casemiro, there's usually a gap that's left in midfield. Right now, with Cunha and Bumo, I'd be comfortable letting Bruno go. But it's either way, I'm okay. If he stays, I'm fine because Bruno is Bruno. He's the Portuguese Magnifico. If he stays, we are good. We are assured at least he'll give us double figures in assists and goals in a season. So, report states that Bruno has rejected a move to Al Nassr because the club told him that it's up to him. If he wants to go, they let him go. If he wants to stay, he will stay. As well as Amorim, when the first bid came in, said that he needs Bruno in the squad. We don't know what the plan is. He should be given time. So, Treasure, you are saying he should be given time. Are you meaning Kone? Let me just know in who you mean. So if it's Kone, yeah, Kone should be given time. And I love what United are doing with the youngsters. They are not throwing them in the deep straight away. They are bringing them in slowly so that we don't shatter their confidence, as well as look at what happened to players like Rashford, to players like Garnacho. When these players come in and start performing, there is an element of pride that comes in and they fall off very fast. If you look at how Ferguson handled the players, he was bringing them in slowly by slowly, integrating them into the team in good time, and they were performing well. The likes of Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs. We have all those players who are coming in and they were performing well. The likes of Cleverly, Welbeck, and they performed well. So we don't need to rush them because if a player becomes a star too young, you have the risk of handling his ego. And nowadays, we know that agents are more into money than actually the performance of the player. If we don't give them game time as well, they will decide to move away and we lose out on a player. So it's a tricky balance. We don't want to have a Garnacho situation in terms of overplaying an academy player, then we lose them. As well as we don't want to lose a player because we are not giving them game time. For example, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba left the club because Ferguson was not giving him enough time on the pitch. Bryant also says that I want a season having Bruno with a proper striker, a Sesko type. Yeah, yeah, good point. Good point. Bruno with Sesko. Bruno can basically I say Bruno can play with any player. Bruno can play in any squad. He can gel into any squad. Bruno can go into Chelsea and bench players. He will go to Arsenal. He will bench Odegaard. He will go to City. He will get a squad. He can go to Real. He will still perform. He can go to any club in the world and he will still perform. Bruno is Bruno. He's that sort of player, and he's that sort of one in a million talent. We just need, in my case, I wouldn't build my squad around Bruno. I would build the squad around Kobe because Kobe has an it factor. He has an X factor. Bruno I don't know where we'll play him. Honestly, I don't know what Amorim plans are. Because now we have two number 10s, the new two number 10s. We have Ahmad who's there, Bruno is there, Ugarte, Mainu, and we have Casemiro. So I don't know what the plan is. Probably by the end of the window, we'll know how the plan will be. Because as clubs get into the Premier League, the coaches usually put in the first 11 or um, an idea of the first 11 that will play in the Premier League. So Bruno, yeah, let's have him for a season. I agree with you. And let's see how it goes. And if we get Sesko, that's fine. If we don't, trust me, the forwards we have at the moment will perform well. From what we've seen, especially the Bournemouth game and Hoyland's performance, I'm sure the forwards will perform because right now the atmosphere is different. I read a tweet where a Sporting fan says he doesn't know what Amorim does in the preseason, but the team usually fights for each other. The team is a family. And we've already seen it. If you look at the West Ham game, you look at the Bournemouth game, the players are working hard. They're fighting for each other. They are correcting each other. They are bashing each other. And that's what we want to see. So next season will be completely different. Plus us playing fewer games, we are going to see a completely different Manchester United. So it's a matter of giving players patience, giving the coach some time, and giving him the players that he needs. So Kelvin also says that Bruno plays good as a number 10, then a number 8. Yeah, Bruno is a number 10. But now if you play him as a 10, who will sit on the bench? Is it Cunha? Is it Mbumo? Do you take Mbumo as a number 9, have Bruno there? So it's a good problem to have. I would say it's a good problem to have. So yeah, let's see what Amorim does. Now to some news regarding Brian Mbumo. Lowry Whitwell says that Amorim confirms Mbumo will face Everton in Atalanta. So Amorim says, I'm really excited to see him playing, what he can give our team, but I was really excited to see the team the team last game. You may be looking at a starting 11 plus nothing to see. I was so excited because I know we can do better. One thing I love about Amorim is he always says we can do better. As much as fans, we look at it and say that the team played well, he always has an eye for something we could do better. And that's what we need from a coach. That's what we need from a Manchester United coach. That's elite mentality. So it's good to see that at least we'll have Mbumo playing the game. And also, if you are in Kenya or in East Africa, you'll be watching the game at midnight. So it's worth the wait. Some fans slept during the Bournemouth game. They were saying that there's nothing to watch. Well, they got disappointed because we saw a good display and Dogu was super. Dogu was playing well. So let's see how Mbumo performs in that game. We've also mentioned that let's hope we'll see Kone get some minutes. I also want to see how Mazraoui plays because our centre-back pairing is starting to show. With Yoro on the right and Heaven on the left. It's also we are also going to have a good problem having Heaven performing well. Martinez is coming back, and Luke Shaw is now back. So it's good at least we have options at the center back, and it's good that we have few games. So it means that the players have to perform. Otherwise, you'll stick on the bench or you won't make the squad at all. Kelvin, do you guys think the position that Ahmad plays as right wing back fits him? Yes. Yes, it does. I'll give you reference to Giovanni Kenda. Giovanni Kenda at Sporting when Amorim was there. So Giovanni Kenda was playing more as a winger than a right wing back. So the system, the way Amorim sets up the system is that one of the wing backs during attacking phases plays as a winger or an attacker, and they push much more forward compared to the other wing back. So in instances, and I'll give you an example, and I want you to be observant in the next game. you'll find that if Dogu is further ahead in the attack, Ahmad usually sticks a bit deep in defense. And the inverse is also true. You find when Ahmad is attacking, Dogu usually sticks back and usually um, drops in or comes into the midfield a bit so that they can provide that cover. So we don't have an option at right wing back. We don't have an option at right wing back because Diogo Dallo, I don't trust him there. Honestly, I don't. Dogu can play on the right, but his best position is on the left. Mazraoui, yes, he can play as a right wing back, but I prefer him as a right centre back. Ahmad is the best option we have in terms of attack. And I mentioned in the past lives that having Ahmad and Mbumo playing as the right wing back and right 10 is going to be a perfect system for us because of the dynamism of the 3-4-1-2 system. Mbumo likes to drift far wide to get the ball, and Ahmad likes to come in, cut out, and then go back in. And at times you'll find that they will swap position. So at times Mbumo can play as a right wing back and Ahmad goes to play as a right 10. When we are defending, Ahmad will go back as a right wing back. Mbumo can come in as a right 10. As well as the relationship those two will have, we will see the sort of relationship. Slightly, we saw it with Cunha and Dogu. We need to have those players that can interchange play. So yeah, at now at the right wing back position, Ahmad is the best option we have there. Uh, if we go to the pecking order, number 2, I would have Mazraoui because Mazraoui is good on the ball. Dogu is erratic. Dalot is erratic. Dalot can put in a good shift in, let's say, in 10 minutes. In the next 10 minutes, he's not performing. His crossing is bad. His passing is poor. His positioning is not good. His defending is not good. So that's the pecking order on the right wing. I still feel that is Bryant Junguna is saying on TikTok. I'm not getting any comments on YouTube or X. Please make sure you post your comments so that we can read them. I still feel we need a proper winger with speed so we can be flexible tactically. Well, yes, I do somehow agree, but in this system, do we really need wingers? In a 3-4-2-1 system, do we really need wingers? I don't know. It's quite dynamic. We saw that in the Bournemouth game, the system did change to become a 4-4-2 during attack. So wingers, yeah, probably in some games we do need a winger. Who will we go for? Bryant, let me know. Who will we go for? Who will you sign as a winger? Brian says that can we make it a debate? Yeah, not today. Not today. Today it's a short live. I promise you in the next live I'll have a debate with you. Drop me a DM. Drop me a DM on TikTok. We'll discuss and we can have a debate in the next live. Kelvin Mwangi also says maybe I have to watch Ahmad and Bumo in that wing. Yeah. Let's watch how they play. I've seen a couple of training videos where they swap position. You find that at times Bumo is up front, Ahmad is on the deep, and they swap position. So yeah, Brian, send me a DM and we'll have a debate and let me know what you like us to debate about. So going back to the big news, the chaos on the ground is that Newcastle have placed a bid for Benjamin Sesko. United are still in the race. Let me see whether we have any updates regarding it before we end the live. It was quite a short live today. No, the only other update I can see is that the player has not chosen. So Fabrizio is saying that Benjamin Sesko will make his final decision soon. Newcastle informed Leipzig last week, so it's still the same. It's still the same update. So, any more questions you like to ask before we end the show? And thanks for everyone who's watching across all our platforms. Make sure you go to YouTube, guys on TikTok. click on the link in the description, go to YouTube, subscribe, drop a comment, like the video. Guys already watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video. If you are on my personal Facebook page, or you are on the United Kwa Ground Twitter page, go to our YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click the like button. Any other questions? Going once, going twice? Yeah, so that's it for today. Enjoy your weekend, guys. See you, and keep safe. Bye-bye.